Let's watch a spicy video. Like and subscribe.
Here we go. We'll watch the next one later, okay? I'm not saying we're not going to watch it. I'm just saying we're not going to watch it right now.
Truth nuke about female police. Yeah. There's been a lot of videos about female police that I've seen in the last basically few months, and not impressive.
Think fast. You're behind cover and an active shooter is...
This is based on a real situation. I already know which one it is.
I'm going to turn it up real quick.
right in front, fleeing civilians all around. You notice a figure dash. Think fast. You're behind cover and an active shooter is right in front.
Yep, they're about 10 years late to this argument. There's some... having some female police can be useful, like, especially dealing with female detainees. You don't want to search female detainees with male cops if you have female cops available. But in active shooter situations, yeah, that's not one of the situations where you necessarily want a female cop.
Fleeing civilians all around. You notice a figure dashing next to you. Do you A, try to identify if it's a fleeing civilian, or B, panic and shoot? If you chose B, congratulations. You might be a female police officer. But let's confirm it. After panicking and shooting a civilian...
This happened recently. This is based on a video you can find on Twitter.
The actual shooter advances. Do you A, hold your ground behind cover, or B, panic, run into the open, and get shot? If you chose B, it's confirmed.
You're a
the scenario I just gave is from a recent event, where a female police officer successfully made every worst possible decision available. And it's reignited the
she randomly shot a civilian, and then they let the gunman go until somebody else shot the gunman.
Conversation surrounding women in combat roles, specifically law enforcement. Therefore, in this video, I'll be ranking and debunking every argument in favor of women police officers.
Okay.
And if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. It helps the channel.
It's crazy, by the way, how popular this channel has gotten. 4 weeks ago, this is something I feel like people watch these videos. People like me watch these videos, and there's a form of just catharsis.
I can already go his argument. Women use less force because that's all they can use. There's no way. And also, it's not true that they use less force. Sometimes they use more force. But it is true that the maximum amount of force a woman can use if it's tackling someone to the ground is less than a man.
It's like, yeah, fucking exactly. You know?
These videos are saying what everyone knows, thinks, and is the obvious truth, but doesn't dare say because you'll be cancelled for being racist, bigoted, etc.
Less force. The argument here is that they are less prone to use excessive force when apprehending suspects.
That's bullshit.
Avoiding unnecessary harm and saving on potential lawsuits.
Yeah.
Proponents use studies showing that women are less likely to receive excessive force complaints compared to their male counterparts. To call...
That's because they can't use excessive force in the way men can, I guess.
This argument deceptive would be an understatement. Of course they use less force
because they're
less able to. Additionally, male police officers are typically the ones who are made to handle more difficult physical arrests for obvious reasons. Since male officers are made to handle more difficult physical arrests, obviously they get more complaints. Naturally, this goes into NPC tier as a classic midwit argument. When a female officer is staring at a larger, non-compliant male, her options are
the only way they can handle it is by using a gun.
Reinforcements, taser, or gun. Which brings me to my next argument. Women are less likely to draw their gun. This argument argues, again citing studies, that female officers are less likely to draw their guns compared to male officers. Again, an obvious explanation is that men are being made to handle more difficult cases.
Yes.
Which is a demonstrable fact. These broad studies of poor control over variables prove nothing. Furthermore, simple reasoning paints a different picture. A larger, non-compliant male poses an immediate risk to a woman in a way that it doesn't to a man. If a female officer feels threatened, her only recourse is her taser or gun, and tasers are not reliable tools.
True.
Anecdotally, we see cases...
they call it skill-based matchmaking, right? So, like, they don't matchmake into the high PvP, high ELO lobbies, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're going to send out Fred, this 6'4", former high school football player, right? That, like, was a linebacker. He's fucking, like, 315 pounds. Like, oh, there's, like, some crazy guy out there. Send out Fred. He'll take care of it.
After case of women feeling threatened and escalating drastically when it's either not necessary or wouldn't have been necessary for a male officer. Again, a failure of intuition and how to properly control variables. MPC tier. Women are better communicators.
Well, I mean, do we really even have to talk about this one? I mean, do we even really need to talk about this? I mean, what do we do? What is this?
You serious?
The argument cites the claim that women tend to rely on verbal skills more often for their arrests compared to their male counterparts. I'm tired of repeating myself. Of course they are, since they struggle to physically restrain the suspect, and less compliant suspects are delegated. Abyss tier. Let's also address the root cause of these arguments. So far, they've all relied on an implicit sexist assumption that men lack self-control and default to violence.
That's right.
Whereas women have more self-control. The studies we do have on this also don't support the idea of women being more in control. Women are twice as likely to suffer from anxiety or panic disorders as men are.
There's no way it's only half. There's no way it's only twice as much. I think it's probably 4 or 5 times as much.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's only twice as much because, there are men who suffer from anxiety out there.
If not more than that.
To suffer from PTSD. Exactly what you don't...
Like, every girl I know is crazy. I only know, like, 2 guys that are crazy.
Want from police officers.
10
Proponents
times, maybe.
of this argument cite the fact that men are responsible for more violence. But how do you control for the fact that men are simply more capable of violence or have greater incentives for it? Additionally, since men have this capability, a lot more effort is used in training them to control it since boyhood, a process that is often neglected on girls, which explains a lot of modern phenomena.
Female
NPC tier. Better results with victims. This argument makes the case that women typically get better results trying to get victims of abuse or similar crimes to open up. This is actually true, and it's one of the ways that women have genuinely contributed. And the best part? It doesn't require women to be police officers or in combat roles.
That's right.
They can...
Yes. Well, they can be on the force, but they don't need to be active duty going out and arresting people. There are roles for women in the police force.
Be social workers, consultants, or other forms of outside help.
A therapist.
So that their unique talents can be fully utilized without having to put their lives and others at risk by doing something they're not suited for. Flawed tier. Better community perception. The claim here is that the populace prefer and trust female officers more, which is highly debatable.
Oh my god, bro.
Me reacting to someone who's constructed a grand reaction. Yes, maybe I could go watch the videos directly. I wouldn't have even found out about these videos if it wasn't for Asmongold, so...
Additionally, what happened to tearing down gender stereotypes? Public perception is just stereotyping. Why are we condemning stereotypes when it goes against the agenda, but using them as an argument when it's in favor?
Because they love stereotypes when it's in their best interest. That's the reason why.
This is clearly just a rationalization. It's already been decided women are to be police officers, and now they're just finding excuses for it. Abyss tier.
Garbage.
Tasers negate physical disadvantages.
No, they don't.
Only the most delusional deny the obvious physical differences between men and women.
Oh my god.
Which is why we have
tasers aren't reliable.
Such reduced standards for physical ability when admitting female officers.
Jesus.
This begs the obvious question. Why are we accepting subpar candidates just because of their gender? Their counter is physicality doesn't matter.
In a new Halo game, there are more female Marines than male Marines. Isn't that insane?
Taser exists. Already, this is foolish. Chases...
In the original game, there were no female Marines. There were female pilots, there were female on the deck of the spaceship, but there were no female Marines in the original Halo Combat Evolved.
Wrestling takedowns are all part of the job, but even more importantly, how reliable are tasers?
Not very.
Well, for starters, a portion of the population are just flat out immune to them. Their ranged option is extremely limited, inaccurate, and hard to reload. And a taser is often best used when already in a melee altercation, which involves grappling and
you have
wrestling.
to be close.
Only an NPC
That's
can argue the
terrible,
physicality
literal
doesn't
garbage
matter
tier.
in law enforcement.
Yes.
Physicality is the only meaningful difference. Not only does this argument set aside a very important difference.
There are other differences, but it is one of the biggest difference and most immediately, obviously visible difference.
This argument also contradicts earlier pro-women officer claims, as well as the statistics we have regarding likelihood of panic and anxiety disorders. And it goes deeper. Reaction time.
By the way, in games that are fictional, like Warhammer 40k, I have no problem with like the Battle Sisters, etc. And in the words, well, there's magic. Well, then, yeah, you can have all kinds of female magicians, etc. Like Frieren is an example that comes to mind. But if it's a world where not out any magic or technology that's the equivalent of magic, then yeah, you don't want the grunts, the Marines, to be have. Women are just not as strong, and you're going up against Covenant. You don't want female Marines.
Spatial awareness, innate.
See, this is the reason why men beat women in every single competitive sport that has to do with anything that's like hunting related. Like if you can imagine,
I think long distance swimming is the one where women have the advantage. The one that comes to mind.
Killing an animal that's this way, the odds are that men are going to be outperforming women by like a metric of like 100 to 1, 1,000 to 1, probably 10,000 to 1.
Yeah. Bows require strength. If you have strength, the more you pull the bow, the more strength you pull in it, the straighter your arrow will fly, the easier it is to hit your target. So with bows, men have definite advantage. One thing is snipers. Female snipers. There have been female snipers that have had a lot of success because they just need patience and careful aim. Snipers is one area where there have been, in history, deadly female snipers.
This is just the way it is. Even chess. Like, even chess. It's exactly it.
Hierarchy are all things men outperform women in and are invaluable in combat roles.
Reaction time. Men are faster.
The belief that the only differences between the genders are physical is quintessential midwittery.
Yep.
NPC tier. It's necessary for gender equality. This argues that even if the disadvantages of women in law enforcement and combat roles are
not in anything where lives are at stake. No, throw this out the window. Firefighters, soldiers, police. It shouldn't even be a consideration.
Necessary.
It's still necessary in the name of gender equality. The issue is...
It's crazy how women always need to have the roles that are like high value, but we don't need... Why do we not have gender equality with garbage men? Why do we not have gender equality with a janitor? Those are never discussed.
No, that is a very good point. The activists want gender equality when it comes to police, military. I haven't heard as much about firefighters, actually, but police, definitely police and military. Why don't they ever hear them campaigning about gender equality with garbage collectors or roofers, builders? Don't hear that much about gender equality in those subjects.
If we need to accept worse performance and a higher risk to people's lives just to include women, then gender equality does not exist.
I think the reason you don't hear it as much for firefighters is because firefighters is one job where it's basically, it's 90% about physical. Can you get up the building fast enough to save someone? And if you had female firefighters, they would fail to save someone in a very visible way within a short period of time and creating very negative headlines. Whereas in the military, if you're not fighting a war, you can have females in the military and doesn't hurt anyone. And in police, you can delegate the work to the male policemen, the arrests of violent people. But with firefighters, you can't delegate the work away. Every firefighter has a job, and female firefighters would immediately lead to people dying.
Whether you include them or not. You can call reality sexist all you want. It won't change to accommodate your sensibilities. But you will get people killed by denying it.
That's true.
At this tier, men and women are different. And if you can't accept that, that can't be blamed on just your stupidity.
True.
That's a choice, and one that's costing lives. That concludes the tier list. If there are any other arguments we'd like to see ranked, please share them in the comments below. And I would like to give a special thank you.
I work physically demanding jobs. I think that we do undervalue certain caretaking roles, but that isn't sexism thing so much as being a shitty human, and also women not really being as good at understanding their ground and demanding more, viewing themselves as worth more to begin with. There are certain jobs I'm sure with it women are better at, but I don't know what job you're talking about specifically, Proton Snail, so it's a little bit hard to comment on.
I'm going to link you guys
all
a
our
video.
channel members, our patrons, and those who bought merch.
165,000
we greatly appreciate your support,
followers now.
as this channel would likely not be possible without it. If you would like to participate in our supporter-exclusive Discord.
All right, that's the end of this video. There's spicy videos. And I've been seeing so many examples of situations going bad because female police officer, that female police officer who shoots the innocent civilian that's fleeing. It's just so bad. Like and subscribe, come watch on Kick or Twitch, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.